Well, hello, well, hello, well, hello. Two strangers here came
Hmm.
for a talk about something we actually should be doing it more often, but happens.
Yeah,
It's hot. It's busy time, summer, less time for reading,
it's true.
concentrating. I don't know about you, Terence. Do you find it easier to read in summer?
I mean, I don't because it's just I got lots going on, right? So it's tough to
Yeah.
find time. I did read a fair bit,
Mm.
surprisingly, but we've got a just when work starts in the summer, especially in the summer, man, it's always busy. Like you said, it's just busy.
It's kind of like you want to be more outdoors than indoors, right?
Yeah.
I can't do outdoor reading because the sun is right now. It makes me uncomfortable. I used to be like, if I have shaded area, right, I could. But now with a child around, it's not really easy for me to concentrate. It's
Hmm.
just something I like to have special kind of time given to myself to just, wind down and just get away from daily situations, right? But yeah, it's summertime, it's more gardening for me also. So my brain is like too scattered to understand what's happening around me. But I
Hmm.
always keep up with some things, right? I know how much what's released, and at least I get reminded by that by my comic book guy. But apart of that, it's becoming a little more like it's cold, so you want to sit down and read, right? Somehow.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, wintertime is great because you want to stay in anyway. So, yeah, and then
yeah.
thinking of that, I haven't done an outside. I usually have at least a couple of times I'm
Yeah,
set up outside
you
when we
did.
chat.
Yeah,
So, haven't done
you
that yet.
you the brave one. I'm not. I'm not as
Yeah,
brave. Yeah, I
we
rather
got we
hide.
got a perfect spot. Like where I sit out there, it's kind of the
Yeah,
perfect spot. I got a little bit of shade. It's sort of secluded. I'm not
yeah,
right in the middle of anybody's business, and it's
yeah.
pretty nice there.
Mm. So, anything new watched, exciting to speak about? No,
Um,
have
we
you?
watched. We just finished the first season of Cracker.
Uh-huh.
I was rewatching
Yes,
it. My wife had not seen it with Robbie Coltrane,
yes,
and
yes.
loved it.
So
It was so great to watch again.
I
Loved it.
watched it. Since you mentioned it, I was like, surely I have should have heard it. So I know like I knew there was something like that because of course Robbie Coltrane, right?
Mhm.
But I'd never heard of a name. So I YouTube actually, surprisingly
Oh,
enough, I managed somehow to watch a first episode via YouTube.
mhm,
And I really liked it, but the quality is quite lower than you expect.
mhm.
Like we're so spoiled by that stuff, what it was. But I just like the way he is, right? In there, he's
Yeah.
like he's not really doing kind of amazing, to be honest. But he
No,
is. I mean, he's like gambler, right? He's
he's a
gambles away
gambler.
all.
He's a drunk. He's just
Yeah,
kind of a fucking asshole. Fitz is his
yeah,
name, and he's a hell of a character. You end up like
yeah.
you love him to pieces. You know what I mean? Like he's so charismatic, and
Mm,
the episodes are so goddamn good. Like
mm.
it's just the storytelling is really really good, man. Like it's yeah, a really fun show. I'm looking forward to it. The rest of the seasons I have on my computer, so we'll watch the rest. And then there was a couple
Okay.
of movies as well too, I think. So,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, my wife was getting into it. By the end of this season, she was really into it.
It's very soothing. I mean, it's exactly the time where kind of the TV show I really enjoy. It's a lot of course, conversation and solving the things, what happens around it. It
Hmm.
does really difficult at the beginning to actually like the guy because he's such an opinionated ass.
Hmm.
The way
Hmm.
he's treating his wife and all that kind of
Yeah.
situation where he basically plays his own family because of, and then he thinks that he's a smart ass, but then it kind of helps him with that also because it basically helps them solve the murders and situations
Yeah.
the police looks like incapable of doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it seems to be like police guys, even though they are like, oh yeah, we're doing like we need to do the job. It's like, but not really, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, and
it's
also Christopher Eccleston in there as well too. So one of the doctors from Doctor Who
oh
on the
really?
show as well. Yeah, playing one of the coppers. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, because they are so freshly faced for me, because I know the older, side of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and like even older. I mean, they want the youngsters, right? They're not youngsters in this show, but
Hmm.
when you mention it, I was like in the back of my head, crackle. Okay, I need to have a look. So I started doing some research, and by some miracle, I was like, surely YouTube won't have it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and because I'm using the virtual private network thing, I
Oh yeah.
was because it's a like a BBC, like if it's English versions I can't watch, right? But then if I use it, so I managed to do it, and I was like, oh yeah, it works. Like, so anybody actually could watch it. I think you could watch it because you're not in England.
Yeah, more than likely.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
so
I
that's
feel like
how.
some of those shows, are easier to find than others for sure.
Yes, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not very easy to get all of them to watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're coming up on YouTube for me. Yeah.
There you go. So, what is nice about the show is also to tell that it's one-off story in one episode, so you don't have to invest in long time,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
very
Okay.
cool.
See you later. Yeah.
So
Sorry,
that's
go ahead.
nice. Another thing is good because one-off. I mean, it's quite long though. One episode is very long, to be honest,
Mhm.
for a show. Like you could split it probably in two, right? Easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So two
Yeah, I
episodes, like
think it was basically like on that first season, I think it's basically 3 stories over
yes,
like whatever it is, 6 episodes or whatever. So yeah.
yeah, it's like a long. Like one movie kind of type of length, really,
Mhm.
of episodes, which is, I mean, it's amazing to watch him acting, to be honest.
Mhm.
And you see the chops the guy have. No wonder he's been doing so many things in them in the movies, and the name he has been able to establish himself. So that's really nice. So yeah, I really
Mhm.
thoroughly enjoyed it. So thanks for him for mentioning that. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know I wouldn't even go that far. It's what 80s, I think, is an
No,
80s
1993. It
or
looks 80s
90s.
though. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
1993, but it definitely looks older.
yeah. It almost kind of felt like that. Yeah, it does kind of have because of the cars they're driving. It's like almost reminds me of the time and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't
Mhm.
believe some of the faces you look and it's like, wow, you look so young. It's like, wow,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
life is so cruel because
Mhm.
we age so quickly and in rapid succession. It's quite
It's true,
something.
dude. It's really true. Well, and also like for me watching it, there's stuff that, because it would have been around that time. Paulo Costa, hello. It would have been around that time where we visited England as well too. So it's neat seeing some of the
Mm.
surroundings and kind of be reminded of my time going out there. So yeah.
Well, that's what really got me attracted when I was watching all the English shows is the way they managed to the film the areas and make it so picture perfect. And there is villages like that.
Hmm.
They do have them. They do exist. And we're not like just a picture like a movie set. But it's not like, oh, everything is so beautiful countryside,
Yeah, yeah,
There is some nasty sides to everything.
yeah, for sure.
Nobody can escape that. But they definitely do have very much so that kind of side of it, which is picturesque and green and lush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because where we visited, it would have been Staffordshire and Stone is where we were mostly going because that's where our
Oh,
relatives lived.
uh-huh.
And around there, I remember some of the winding roads and things, and that
Oh,
was very lush. But then also going into like the town and
yeah.
buying the Viz magazine and stuff, and yeah, it was a great time.
The one thing always freaks me out to this day is those little narrow windy roads which they drive
Yeah.
really fast at, and it's not for faint-hearted, to be honest. And my husband, when drives, because I don't do, I always like freak out on the side of it, like, oh, so close, it's so close. And you do have this like little space in that little road where you can actually fit two cars to, but you have to
Yeah.
basically, if you at speed, and imagine your brakes has to work tremendously well. But like some guys are like, it's almost like those, the minis, those classic minis, they're basically designed for those roads because those would fit perfectly fine because
Yeah.
they are really, really small cars. But yeah, it's quite scary sometimes. But it's interesting to show that to people from somewhere else, especially like we went with my mom, and my mom said like, this is absolutely disastrous. How the
Yeah.
heck, And you
Yeah.
have like today's problem is big cars, right? They
Right.
don't make small cars, not as big as across the pond where you guys have all those trucks, right? But there's plenty of those trucks driving around, especially if it's a farmer. So
Hmm.
that's kind of like really scary part, You never know who
Yeah,
you're
for
gonna
sure.
kind of come across. But yeah, it's fantastic. Anything
Yeah.
else did you watch?
I mean, we're still watching Dutton Ranch,
Oh yeah.
and I think that's it, really. Was there something else we were watching? I don't think so. Dutton,
Hmm.
watched the next two episodes of Dutton Ranch, and it's good, man. It makes me laugh. The dialogue and stuff make me laugh. It's a
Really?
bit cheesy at times, but I'm still enjoying it.
Oh.
It's just very comical. It's like I
Mhm.
was saying to my wife, it's very much like those romance books that have like the cowboy with his shirt off on the front cover and the damsel in the background, and it's
Yeah.
so much like those books just on TV. Sometimes the dialogue and the way that they say it,
Yeah.
like they're saying it so earnestly, but it's not a criticism because I actually enjoy it. It's just
Huh.
like they're just giving it their all, regardless of how ridiculous it is. And it's a good ass kicking kind of show. So I think it was the final episode of the season that we watched the other
Oh.
night, I think. So yeah, it's pretty good though. Worth checking out for sure.
I haven't dared yet to go that route. Nor do I. I don't know. Sometimes I don't. I want to. In summertime, I know what happens to me, but I like watching old school stuff, rewatching stuff I used to watch before. That's
Hmm.
more my cup of tea because there's not
Yeah.
really. There's a choice of it, right? There's some certain shows coming out, blah blah blah. But somehow I just always revert to something older.
Hmm.
So anyway, but so I haven't been watching much apart of it. I've been watching quite a bit of sport.
Hmm.
Not football, not as much. My mom
Yeah.
kind of like, oh yeah, you should watch it. It's a World Cup, blah blah blah. I was like, Mamo, you the one who's like, yeah, I like football. So I
Yeah.
thought we all about basketball here. So me and her is all basketball, right? Nobody
Uh-huh.
else. Apparently, my sister is more into football, so they kind of watch it. But I kind of watch some of the stuff, like whatever teams like we kind of want. For example, tonight for us, England's supposed to be playing Mexico,
Mm.
but it's like 1 o'clock our time.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not gonna watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am, I'm not that obsessed about football for me to know exactly. I haven't watched anything past 11 p.m. my time
Hmm.
because I don't think it's for me necessary. It's not like sport I fully follow, right?
Yeah.
Like the one we're doing this chat a bit later because I was watching actual basketball. National Lithuanian team was playing against Italy, and unfortunately they lost to them, which is not very great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of thing I could watch in the evening because I like my
Hmm.
basketball, so I would watch and support. Football is like, hey, there and there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same. I've watched a couple of games, but I'm not like crazy about it.
Mm.
It's fun to watch. Me and my brother's in from China, so we went out to
Uh,
our local pub to watch the Cabo Verde game or whatever, where they're
uh-huh.
playing Argentina. We watched that
Yeah.
game, which was that was a pretty exciting game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not like going out of my way to make sure I see every single game though.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm. So yeah, and I've been watching a lot of Wimbledon tennis.
oh yeah.
It's some kind of like a traditional thing you always watch on telly,
Hmm.
and I'm kind of into this year. I mean, I was into. I really like the aesthetics of Wimbledon. I really like all that white get thing they have to wear. It's like a
Hmm.
rules, and they're really strict on that stuff. So I kind of like the aesthetics, and I like the green and white kind of thing. So it's very traditional. So I've been watching that quite a bit.
Hmm.
So that kind of more sport for me. I missed all many football matches because I was watching tennis. I mean, I'm not the
Right.
tennis, but like I'm not. I never. Oh, jeez, what was that? I never watched tennis that much, but Wimbledon is somehow it's like a one sport tournament I pick. So golf, I almost sometimes watch if it takes my fancy. And But Wimbledon is always one of the tennis. I wouldn't watch any other tournament of tennis. But Wimbledon has always been one of my favorites to watch.
Right.
Anyway, so that's me. Okay,
Yeah.
reading
Cool.
comics.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. Shall I start? You shall start. Which
Yeah. No,
one?
give her. Go ahead.
Okay. Shall I show you something I haven't yet finished reading, but I'm
Sure.
very pleased. I couldn't resist. I there.
Oh, hey.
I got this.
Yeah. Cool.
I took a sleeve. I hate sleeves, so I took it off. But it's actually quite a nice cover.
Oh, wow.
So this is a Zatanna the famous collected things, whatever DC has done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Paul Dini.
Paul Dini work.
That's a
for-
great cover. I like it better. Obviously, always end up liking it better without the dust jacket. That's cool.
Yeah. So Adam Hughes has famously done a lot of covers for this book. But I am why I did it. So do you remember I was picking up this Zatanna Run, new Zatanna Run by Campbell?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, after reading this issue, it's not doing anything for me.
Oh, bummer.
So I'm done with that. I was like, I have to be a bit more because there's some other things I will probably pick up. So I need to, like whatever doesn't click, there's no need for me to go for it. So after reading this, it didn't click, and I was like thinking, you know what? I've really never properly got into this character, so I went and got this. Couldn't resist. It's not something easy to get hold of if it goes out of print. It's very popular run. It's especially popular for the covers of Adam Hughes, and they say it's lots of work done. I read this first story of Zatanna and how she was a magician and trying to make her end meet end. So she's like doing actual real magic, and of course Constantine comes into picture, and I'll show you. Oh, there's this crazy rabbit. He talks to her from her hat.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they're having this full-blown conversation. But oh yeah, Constantine. She comes home and finds him naked in the bed, and she's like, "What the heck are you doing here?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh, I have a problem. There's this hand in his arm, and there's the chick who he had this." Sex with, she bit him and basically cursed him because apparently this lady is basically tried to sold this soul for her own gain, the magic and all that. So you pay for magic, whatever you do. So Zatanna decides that's the chick. The chick in the red is the one she be going against. It's funny how long the story felt. Done this first issue. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Zatanna Everyday Magic is called. Rick Mace is the artist. Of course, Paul Dini is the guy. Doesn't really have. Oh yeah, it doesn't have that word thing. It does have only beginning to tell you what story is it from. Anyway, so there's quite a few things going on here. So if you want to collect this in single format, it's extremely difficult. It hasn't been printed many in the other formats you have because of the Adam Hughes covers. It's notoriously very expensive to get hold of. There's this guy, this story as well, it's quite intriguing. This guy who's sleeping, he's like, he has narcoleptica or narcoleptica, the guy who can't not keep themselves awake, but he's notoriously very violent. And of course, unfortunately, Zatanna is part of the Batman thing, she's like supporting character. So this story is mainly about Penguin getting established to get to do a money because apparently Bruce Wayne has got rid of all of his assets. So his way to do it legally, he has a place where people play poker, and he thinks that he's doing really well. And his dude comes in with that narcoleptica, and he's basically trying to cheats the money away from Penguin. And there's all of these things happening. It's not a bad story, to be honest. So Zatanna comes in here for a little bit, just to give a bit of an aid to Batman and stuff like that. So, and then there's lots of course, many artists in here. I'm going to flip. I haven't read, as I say, but Batman will be quite prominent. It's DC. It's DC, you can't.
Yeah.
It seems to be like there's lots of people saying, joking, you have to pay dues to Batman before you enter the DC world, because otherwise it won't sell, right? So,
yeah.
And there's apparently there's established story where I don't know if it's gonna contain in here, but they're gonna have a relationship between Zatanna and Constantine in here a little bit more, because they were kind of a couple for a bit. So yeah, not bad. I mean, there's this
yeah, that's cool.
Stephanie Roos is the one. I kind of always wanted. There's lots of things happening. Like it's nice artwork. This dude is also the archfo, and there's lots of things happening. Yes, not no. Look at the covers. There's a Brian Boland covers as well, which also doesn't make it easy to get hold of, right?
Right.
So this notoriously known for. And there's the Stephanie Rue work, which I've never been able to see and read. So yeah. So now I don't have to hunt single issues, because I remember how like they were £20 each all time, and it's ridiculously expensive for a couple, like 20 issues. You would probably spend up to what, £300 just to collect it all because of those covers. But of course you have to have like luck, and you have to many of all things. But yeah, not bad. I haven't finished it yet. I'm not in a rush to finish it. I just want to have that magic realm and be more kind of aware of it more. Like I know of a name, but the work, it seems to be 2003. Used to be quite a lot of good material was put out, which was very famous. Cliff Chang is here as well, notoriously famous for Wonder Woman run.
Yeah.
So his work is here, or Paper Girls, right? So that's him in the art. So yeah, it's really nice. Honestly, I'm happy. I finally. This is the second printing edition of this omnibus, and there's lots of extra material. Oh, look, even Green Lantern comes into all this DC universe. And Black Canary. There's one famous issue I have with them, 3 of them. It's actually quite pricey as well now. It's Wonder Woman, Black Canary, and Zatanna in New York, and they were dealing with a situation. I don't remember the story. It's one-off, I think, which I really enjoy reading it. And then since then, I always wanted to read more. But yeah. And then extras of art at the back, and lots of kind of informations about how they wrote it down. And there are lots and lots pages of script, so you can realize what they were doing with that. So yeah, not bad.
Yeah, super cool.
I know. I was thinking, if I'm not gonna go on that route, I'd rather go and collect it before work. And I was thinking, I'll finally probably know how difficult it's probably for him to write about with her, I think. And nothing to say bad about. I mean, it didn't work for me, that run of that Campbell, the new run of the Zatanna. It's just
boring, just not going anywhere.
It's too busy. It's the art is going everywhere. The story is not captivating me enough to me to go forward with it. I like the art, but I think it's the writing is not jumping forward, right? It's too muddled up. You get confused a little bit with what's happening, and then if you leave it behind. And also people like it, but somehow it's more modernized work. It just didn't work for me. So
right.
So I had to say no to it. Right. Okay, your turn.
Pages for the sake of being busy.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have
what do I have?
Do you have this close by?
Which one? Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we never talked about this one.
Oh, 9. Right?
7 Voyages of Sinbad.
Oh yeah, wait. Oh, where's my book? Sorry. Looks like I've been putting that somewhere in the dungeon.
Yeah. So this is what, the 10th book in the Corbin Library or something like that?
Well, you're keeping up with that, so you tell me.
I am, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 10th book.
Love.
Jeez. Oh yeah, I mean, this was one of the ones that I was waiting for.
Yeah, go.
Ever since I first read it, I was waiting to get my hands on this one. I'm so glad that they did it. Let's hope Bloodstar is coming up soon. So what did you think of this one?
I loved this one. I really like the art. I like the color scheme choice. I like the way it's written. It was much easier to follow when some of the Corbin books I've been reading beforehand
Yep.
I think it's one of the strongest one done. And I think Jan Strand
Yep.
working together with Corbin had like really understand each other quite well. I think they were kind of in synced to exactly what story they wanted to put it out. And I think Richard Corbin's work inside of it has me more and more impressed by it. I think, like at the beginning, I've been telling you most of the time, and I'm not being exposed to Richard Corbin in earlier time reading. I've never liked it, to be honest. I felt it was overly this contorted faces, his body perception, like when you just start to let me put you on a full picture.
Sure, yeah.
So when you see, but then here it's very well done. It's the way and also the story clicked with me quite nicely. It's the way that they started with it, like telling you like almost like a fairy tale for adults, really. With the genie and the crazy king who decides that he's notoriously paranoid, so he's gonna have a chick once a year, and he's gonna kill her
once a day. He's
once
gonna kill a woman every day. Yeah, I'm sure it was every single day.
I thought it was once a year.
A new wife.
Yeah,
which is kind of the basic premise for her telling these stories.
Yeah. How did you manage to
always
survive?
A cliffhanger, so they would extend their lives. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you manage to survive? Because this notoriously crazy, paranoid douchebag decides to basically murder each woman he sleeps with, right?
Yeah.
And she was telling the story of this, and I really like all the colors used in here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's the thing. I don't have the original production, so I can't compare the differences of it. But this printing is done really well. It represents.
It's a stunner. Yeah. I mean, Villarrubia has done an amazing job again, and I think that some of the recreated pages are pages that got sold. It has a real kind of illustrated storybook feel to this one.
Exactly.
I haven't read the original. I don't know it. I'm super interested to read the original books though. It's high on my list to kind of get into. It's one of my favorites. I feel the same way. Like Jan Sternad and him, they have this relationship where he really knows how to write for Corbin.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just a really good pairing. Like I enjoy the Corbin written stuff, but not as much as like the Jan Sternad stuff. Because there is times where Corbin's writing is a little sloppy, and I don't mind that. It's just I prefer kind of when he teams up with someone who can kind of focus on the writing, so he can also just focus on the art, right? So I don't know, man. The whole premise of this book is really great. I assume that it's a pretty good adaptation, but obviously not having read the original, who knows?
Yeah, I don't have.
But I love it. I'm so glad that this has come out.
Yeah.
It's one of those where I might do a comparison to like maybe do a video where looking at the original.
It's definitely one to have. I would recommend this if you like people not to expose themselves to Corbin. Get this first, because I think that's the stronger part of it. You'll see the very good part of Corbin, and you also see the story, which has exactly the beginning, the end, and the middle and the end, and it's really satisfies you, right? It had a good ending. It didn't have like it's what you expected to kind of like those kind of stories being told, right? And I felt really. Oh, there you go. That's almost the same
my
thing.
version. It's pretty water damaged. It was cheaper, but even just seeing that page, like even just on a looking through it, the colors are definitely more vibrant in the book. Like they look nice in here, but they feel more muted. That's for sure. Like they don't feel as kind of vibrant.
Yeah. As I say, like everything, the story, the pages, the color schemes, them traveling. Remember, then they were traveling to this page in here. Is so fantastic. The color scheme, the planning of the page, and all that.
Yeah.
So I really thoroughly enjoy. I really like this part when he went to drink for water, and then he sees all this dead things coming out of it, like kind of thing. Yeah, there you go.
Go back to that traveling page again. Let's see.
Now
see if it'll show up on the screen.
There you go.
Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah,
thing? Like
man, mine is really
maybe
watered down. Yeah, so they also did something with the text too. You can see there,
yeah.
kind of moved things around, and which is
Mm.
good. So
So
yeah,
they managed to find the original work and somehow worked on
some
it, or
original pages. Yeah, I guess, and got new scans of some original pages from like collectors.
yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing. I'm so glad.
Yeah, because that's what's the most because you know that work like these would be sold by the creator, right?
Yeah,
Because I don't think imagine all of the creators would keep their work at home. I mean,
yeah,
that would be ridiculous. I mean, you would be sitting on a pile of money,
yeah, exactly.
waiting on you. You know, like that's why I think a
And
lot of like
I think even now his wife, what's her name, Beth, I think,
yeah.
she does, she'll do sales even now of his stuff, right? So
Mm,
recognizing that she could kind of,
yep.
live a good life selling off his art kind of thing.
Hmm.
So
And get
but it's
to
not like she's doing it that he never did it. He did it as well too. But I think it's
mhm.
great that it's out there for sure. I mean, I can't imagine the prices some of this stuff goes for. So
Oof, probably quite. Especially, you know, those like the covers are usually the priciest one of them all. But I
mhm.
think these days anything whatever creators have done at least has like what 30, 40 years on work beforehand. It would be quite pricey to get hold of.
Mhm, mhm.
Anyway, okay. I'm gonna show you a old comic.
Yep.
Look at me going DC. I know it just came across, okay? It wasn't intentional. But I
Mhm.
found this I have this tattered Teen Titans
Cool.
50 center. So number issue 23. And I was like thinking, why not? I'm gonna read some Teen Titans. And it's like the language is never disappoints. It's like back off, tigers. The new Wonder Girl is here. Kind of like hilarious. Um I know why I'll pick why, you know, like cheap very bad condition thing, but I know why I picked it up because I was on the kick for buying Teen Titans book because of the run I was trying to pull, but also, you know, if I see some older edition comic books for cheap, I used to buy. This is from 1969. It's hell of
Mhm.
a old, right? And it's by Gil Kane, okay, because there's Gil Kane art on it, and Nick Cardy as well. Bob Haney was the writer, and of course edited by Dick Giordano. It's called a Rock and Roll Rogue. It's about this musician who's has extremely popularity, and apparently Teen Titans has been in his concerts. Everybody's having fun. The Teen Titans are talking how beautiful this musician is, how doing well he is, and then there's the situation where the musician sees his aunt and his managing director fighting over him, so he decides to escape. And there's this notorious thing happens where people, like in the middle of a concert, some guy, you know, musician leaves, and everybody's gone to the riot because they decided that you know, how dare you leave it because we paid money for it. So Teen Titans' jobs was to basically give them money back. So there's Kid Flash running around with people handing money over, which is not usually see that. No,
Mhm.
not these days especially. So yeah, they've been looking for the kid, and the kid is like telling them if they found him in his mansion. I don't know how they do that, you know, like if we just drop into the mansion, it's like, oh, what are you guys doing here, kind of thing. And they were like, well, we saw you leaving, we want to ask you a couple of questions. And basically when ends up telling them a story what happens and why he doesn't want to be around anybody else. And they found out that he's escaped even again, and this time he's escaping to Venezuela. Love, by the way, the ads of this. Even though these days we frown about the ads, but from 1969 ads,
Yeah.
souped up coop,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
or chitty chitty bang bang things, hobby kit from Aurora, far out new spaceships, moon bus, 2001. So yeah.
I mean, the ads seem less offensive back then, don't they, than they do now?
Oh, now it's just the ads for the same company we're producing comics of.
Yeah.
Really, there's nothing really. Or it used to be, we used to have those ads of like sportsmen, right? And all kind of things, and computer games. I think these days you don't
Mhm.
just see that anymore. So yeah, so he's on the run again to Venezuela, and we find out that he's looking for his dad. So this is the funny part, okay? So his dad's name is Matt, right? And I'm like reading, and it says Matt Murdock. I was like, hey, excuse me, Daredevil in DC? What is
Uh-huh.
he doing there? Anyway, that was hilarious part. So it was a like good tidbit, right? It got me a kick out of reading it further. It's very childlike storytelling, of course. You know, these days, 1969, Teen Titans book, they were writing it for kids, and they basically trying to go to Venezuela, and they find the dad. He's going for El Dorado gold, and he's been in disappearance. The way they talk about girls, that was a bit cringe for me. You know, all the girls like, you know, like la la la, you know, you go this way, go that way.
Mhm.
That language is not really something you want these days, maybe a bit more. But it's, you know, it's the time. That's the whole thing about this old comic books, is do you jump back in time to see how they were produced and what they were. Art wise, stunner, to be honest. Don't
Mhm.
have nothing bad to say about art. The expressions are spot on,
Cool.
fantastic, and the story ended up being okay for what it was, right? You don't have high expectations. The Robin's always there to do all the um, thinking, right? Kid Flash used to be there for just running, and of course Wonder Girl somehow changed her costume, and she's there just as a distraction, right? Because of the
Mhm.
beauty she has. um, and then of course you have Green Arrow's, what's his name? Green Arrow's sidekick. What is, I
Oh
always
yeah,
forget.
right. I don't know.
So he has there a little like quite a few things going on, and there's a couple of other Teen Titans missing. So I'm not sure how this team was working that time. But I really like I like Flash, Kid Flash costume. I always find it really appealing. I think there's lots of nice Teen Titans and animated TV shows, which I'm well aware of. And I think he had similar costume in those. Yeah, isn't it the guy who was basically famously taking drugs in those Green
Yeah, that's
Arrow?
right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I just don't
what
remember his name. Spike or
P
something. Who the hell knows?
something Sp, right? Sp.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm going nuts. Anyway, so I really love these expressions and stuff in this book. It's the way it looks, everything, the panel choosings, the way the action streams, lines, nothing confusing. You know, like this panel is one of my favorite color scheme wise. You know, he being grabbed away by the wild people from Venezuela who is taking
Mhm.
people and eating them cannibalistic. They very like that. And the language they're using, like when they speak Spanish, that was cringe worth. Like, oh my god, don't why are you putting that on the page? But they were using that all kind of cringy
Mhm.
like words, you know, like supposedly speaking Spanish, but not really. So yeah,
Ah,
that's,
really?
yeah, you know, like English like I don't have examples here because I don't remember which panel, but yeah, but this is the end of the story. Like, oh, everything happened okay, they survived. Finally the kid got his uncle who supports him. That's why he went to looking for it. But yeah, it's not bad. I always like now trying to do the same things. I pick up one thing, whatever grabs me, and I read it finally.
Mhm.
You know, so it's, you know, reading comics, right? That's this thing, what we all about.
Yeah,
Read
totally.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
cool.
really, oh, you just dropped it. Okay.
Um, before I show my next one, did you see the one of the latest Matatata videos where he talks
No,
about
not
Ed Brubaker?
no, I haven't. No.
He does one on Ed Brubaker that's well worth watching. Um,
Oh, that is that is because I seen the post,
oh,
like the
I
head
think
picture.
it was him. Um, but holy shit, dude, that comic I was talking about, Low Life, where he's talking about drugs and life of crime, apparently that is what his youth was like. That is the stuff that he was getting up to. He was big into drugs. He did do armed robbery. He did do all these sketchy things, right? Which is this. So
Wow.
he talks a lot because he apparently talked to him for, I don't know, a couple of hours. He did an interview with Brubaker and kind of talked through his career. man, it's a good
Oh,
video to give you some insight into kind of how he moved through comics.
yeah.
So
Well, they go. The per example how
we
they would
all
write.
speak OL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly how they were doing that. That's
yeah,
funny,
yeah,
Paolo, but yeah, exactly how they Silver Age comic books writes. Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
what is this? Is that supposed to be Spanish?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, it's cool. So Ed Brubaker, right? So yeah, because I what
yeah.
I is that the same heading or whatever pick whatever they call thumbnail? Well, there you go. I got many. So that thumbnail is saying like Marvel deserved what they got. Is that the one?
That's the one. Yeah, you got it.
So okay, so that's I didn't realize that was his because I was like, why is it showing me every time? I was like, what is this nonsense? Maybe I thought there's somebody doing some
It's
dodgy.
really it's
Mm,
well worth your time. Let me just double
I'm definitely
check.
gonna
I'm
watch it then now.
pretty sure it was his channel. I'll find it during when you're talking about your
That's
next
fine.
one.
Don't worry. It's fine. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Anyway,
So
yeah.
the next
Ooh,
Rogue One issue was out, so I actually made it to my comic shop to pick up some stuff, which
really?
I'm glad that I did. It actually was a big week. I think I got like, I don't know, 7 or 8 comics, which was crazy.
Really?
So they're doing these one-offs. This one
Oh,
is Saw Gerrera, and
yes.
there's been 3 so far, and this one is by far
The
the
best.
best one of the
Right.
lot. It's so fucking good. I
Oh,
mean, so you get that first page, and then you open it up, and it's
oh,
an
good work,
amazing
man.
likeness of him, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well done to the artist,
and
whoever
he's
it
saying,
is.
"You will not judge me or my actions because you can't. You're not
Mm-hmm.
qualified to." And then, but you got to read this page like this. Don't forget it. Got to
Oh yeah.
scroll past you as you read the page. So,
Mm-hmm.
so good, man. Just talks a little bit about like his level of activism and what he was doing and what he
Oh,
was willing to do. And I definitely won't show you
every
very
other
much of
page is
this
ad.
because there'll be spoilers like crazy. So
Oh,
it really is a
oh,
cool
death.
insight into kind of like the rebellion,
Mm-hmm.
because Saw was kind of, what do they say, a battle-hardened veteran of the Clone Wars. Saw Gerrera became one of the first sparks of rebellion at the dawn of the Empire, with decades of relentless warfare hardening him into a ruthless insurgent. Does a glimpse of the idealist he once was remain? And it just talks about how fucking committed he is. It's an amazing little story. It's a hell of a story, man. Just his internal dialogue and where it goes. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even want to show you any more pages beyond that because
Oh
that's
really?
spoiler territory. So strong recommend if you like the Rogue One and Andor
Uh-huh.
universe. This is a really really good issue to pick up. So I
Good.
mean that's all really I have to say about that one. Solid stuff. Oh, next issue is
Go on.
Chirrut and Baze. I'm probably butchering those names, but again, if you've seen
Oh yeah, the
Rogue One,
blind guy
you know
and
those characters. Yeah.
yeah, the blind
So
guy
that'll
and
be the next issue.
the softy on with the big gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that'll be interesting seeing some of those characters. They were
Yeah.
great in the movie, so yeah.
So you can't resist because it says Rogue One.
I can't resist because it says Rogue One. Yeah, no, I can't resist. I figured I'd give it a try. Like the first one was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was about Cassian Andor, and then the next one was about her, whose name I'm forgetting right now, the main character from Rogue One.
Oh,
Pardon me. And then this one, Saw Gerrera. So picking it up, I would pick them up regardless, even if the issues got progressively worse. But this issue makes me more excited about what else they're going to do. And then I don't know what the idea is once all these kind of one shots. Is it just going to be a series of one shots, or are
yeah.
they then going to bring them together and tell another story? I don't really know. So yeah,
Well, they don't have the guy who wrote Rogue One to do it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, if that guy would write comic books, I think he would be selling out in no time, because
I
that's
mean, yeah,
who
that's very true. Yeah,
that's the guy who's established the story and made it to what it never expected to be, right?
hmm
The level amount of popularity it gained because just that. It's crazy.
yeah.
Um, so I'm glad you're picking it up. I'm surprised you're going with it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But
It's one of those things when you have a couple of books on a pull list, it's easier
yeah,
to grab those. But I was there with my brother picking up my books,
uh,
and walked out of there, spent like, I don't know, $74 or whatever it was. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, there used to be a time where this was kind of like my weekly pull list, So
Yeah.
I'm so far from that these days. So
Mhm.
it's easier to throw stuff on, and you'll see some other stuff. I'm glad I went to the shop because there was things that came out that I didn't know were coming out. So I'm glad that I
Okay,
got down there to grab it.
I have do you know Shaolin Cowboy came out?
I sure do.
So you have one, right?
I sure do. Yeah, I
Yes,
sure do.
because I don't have it. I have to wait for my other delivery to go.
Okay.
I didn't. This came out this week,
Well,
right?
I'll just show it to you then, because
Oh,
then we won't
don't
talk about it. I'll
tease
wait.
me. Are you trying to make me feel bad?
Yeah, absolutely.
How dare you? I got really almost oh, I want it, but there's 2 books I have only in this. Oh, wow.
Here it
What?
is.
So you went for that cover? Interesting.
I did, yeah, because
Why?
because I figured it wouldn't be there. Because I really like this cover. I like his art.
It's actually very nice.
And they had 2 of them there, 2 copies of this cover. I thought for sure there was no way I was going to get my hand on this cover because I thought it would just sell out right away. But
no Dave Stewart's name on it. What the heck happened?
no Dave Stewart name. Yeah, so Ian Herring is on colors.
Yeah, what
so there's
happened?
the credits there.
I wonder. Does he not work anymore for the maybe Dark Horse? Is that the problem?
Or maybe he's just sick of coloring every little fucking detail that Daryl puts onto a page, where he's just like, fuck this. I need something else. I'll just show you the first 2 pages. And
yes, thank you. Don't show
yeah.
me anymore.
There you go. Yeah, so it's out, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, well, don't say anything if you can.
No, I ain't saying shit.
Because of I'm definitely going to pick up. I don't know how many books I have next week. If I have more than 2, then I'll ask them to deliver so we can actually talk about it. Because I can't wait, and I cannot ask for 2 books to be delivered. It's just postage is going to cost me as much as bloody 1 book. So
yeah,
I'm just being a bit more stingy, but also it's it's a pain in the butt because I really want it, Okay, so you just spoke, right? You just said.
You go ahead. Yeah.
You read this then? Did you pick it up?
I didn't see it. Is that the one that I had already? When did that come out? That wasn't brand new.
That came out 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay, so then I do have it, and I did read it. It's just not here right beside me, but yeah.
Okay, because the last time we spoke, you haven't picked it up. So how long ago we spoke about? Anyway,
God,
but
who knows the last time we talked.
I presume you enjoyed it, right?
I presume I did as well too. I'm going to see if it's here in this stack beside me.
It's when
I presume that I did as well. I mean, I'm pretty damn sure that I grabbed it.
When Jin, the golden one, finally saw the picture, what what is this? Azazel, whatever his name is, the true colors, and then he was freaking out. So I'm not sure if I'll show you the panel, so maybe that will spring it. This is quite a scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm lying. Maybe I don't have it. But Carrie, talk about it anyway. It's fine.
It's you're basically still seeing them in travels, right? What is happening with this golden one is that he is finally realizing, the person he's going with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he is finally, even though he is so little. So this is what happens when you saw him. He absolutely freaked the heck out and he's trying to run away from everyone. He's stopping him. They're having this bickering situation. He's really screaming and he's like, you stop this now, like a bickering child. So he's realizing, ain't no good. And then Kaya is dealing with this human situation where she got approached where they have a circus type of the situation in here, and they're asking her to be part of the kind of crew. We are humans. We belong together. There's this major thing happens, and of course she stands out because she has that arm, and everybody's kind of looking at her, but she still kind of doubts herself what to do because she never expected to have more humans. We're supposed to be only 2 survivors, right? The race of humans only depended on them, and suddenly there's a bunch of humans she's meeting behind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically him telling, I refuse to work with this douchebag. And he's like, we need him in order to get to the places where we're basically trying to achieve things. and he kind of tried to use his magic things, but he kind of convinced him not to be, and he just been kind of like, bickering child. He tries to make him understand things, but he's like, no, I don't want to work with him, and basically it end up end of the storyline. Of course, you need to read issue afterwards to basically see what's actually gonna really happen. How does that gonna work? Because basically they are the ones which destroy the village. So I understand why the golden one would be freaking out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you suddenly, I think, what Wes Craig, right? His name is Wes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry. Sounded almost like a musician. There is a musician here.
Yeah.
Anyway, Wes Craig is kind of trying really well, and I think his writing is so much more improving with each issue that he's just finally you realizing the child's age. Kind of in a way, his reaction has always been whiny, and we knew he's small, blah blah blah. But he's made decisions to go with him, right? So it kind of feels much more like you as a reader realizing the stakes this kid is going for, right? In order to be the golden one, the promised to whatever savior to all of it. So I think I'm enjoying with each issue, and I think people will have a kicker when this book is going to be collected, because it's going to read really, really well.
Yeah.
In collected editions, I think it's just going to be something like, missed chance to read this in single format, blah 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 da kind of thing, because I think it really does sharpening his skills as a writer. I mean, as an artist, he's already been strong. He's been doing work for a long time, and he kicks ass when he in the panels. I think his writing is definitely has jumped quite a lot forward.
Yeah, I think you're right, and especially it's not like it's dense reading too, right? So I think in a collected edition, it'll flow really nicely.
Yeah, exactly. It's like action-packed kind of book will be.
Mm-hmm.
And it does reward you with lots of things, like especially with information. I just, like I'm really dreading what now is going to happen is the end. And we know there's end at stake. To build the story, great, but to end the story is another matter. It's not a lot of people can do it. Even great artists can't do it either, So
yeah, it's not easy, man.
Exactly.
I mean, I think we've talked about it before. I think we have a feeling how it's going to end, and I kind of, part of me hopes that I'm wrong about it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So I didn't read them, but I did one of the reasons I'm glad that I went to
you haven't read them?
No, I haven't read them because I want to wait to get issues 1 and 2, because this is 3 and 4, because they didn't have the other issues. So I was pleasantly surprised to find issues 3 and 4 of Kaito 84. I haven't seen this around town at all, so I assume that's because everybody's just buying it as soon as it gets on the shelf and it's selling out. So I don't know what happened all of a sudden with issues 3 and 4. Maybe they just ordered more copies. I don't know, but I'm so glad to have 2 of these in my hand anyway. Like, I can't wait to see what the hell this is. I have the
issue 4 and I read it.
Yeah.
That's why I have a page.
Is it good?
It's still very it's exactly what kind of like it's you saw you haven't even checked the pages. I mean, it's
I flipped through them. Yeah, I flipped through.
It is like the things, the panel pages, the layout, the story building up, the stakes they putting against the odds of the characters. It's really kind of like this one felt like very much like Indiana Jones type of the things because of where the situations have to be going through in order to get that sword. And she's a copper and he's a thief, right? So the way they have him established, I really like the character build-up. I like the emotional stakes they had. They had that like it just worked because of they had to go through these 3 trials in order to get the sword, and there's lots of things. And what I enjoy a lot, and I think it becomes one of my favorite things to do, is actually reading this part. Where they basically kind of explains what the story is all about and what they explain to establish. And there's just creators, 2 of them creators basically telling you kind of in a banter way, like, this is how I wanted to put the page in, and because of this, and I'm freak out because he's kind of angry. It's kind of things like that. It just makes it much more endearing to you kind of thing as as a
Mm-hmm.
reader, and people who's doing this work. So it's let's get them, Zach Rosenberg and Jared Cullum. These guys really do like the Usagi Jimbo. And no
Yeah.
wonder Sakai was actually letting them use this property, because it's honestly, it feels fresh, right? Because it's not Stan, right?
Right.
It's not the same. You don't expect it to be the same work of the guy.
Absolutely.
But it has that flavor. It does. Oh, hello, Comics Progressive. Hello.
Hello.
So I'm kind of already sad. There's only one more issue left.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because I knew it was 5 issues, but like when you wait for a bit of time and you're like, oh, you read it and it reads quick as well. It has almost similar kind of feel to Stan's kind of pacing as well, which is kind of interesting.
Right.
So that helps. And of course they work, like having it in watercolor and everything in panels like that. It gives you a different taste to it, and that really works. And I think,
it looks beautiful for sure.
Yeah, and I say like they definitely know how to write a Usagi story, and honestly, if they will do it again, I will be the first one to go for it again, because I was hesitant, because I never, you never know how, there's such an established character, somebody else will take over and they will do it, but they still has the same kind of vibe to it, not in the same kind of like surroundings. Yes, it's in a modernized time, right, with mafiosos and all kind of things, but it still has that flavor of Usagi. So really, really fantastic, something to read, and it does bridge the gap. But now I'm really worried where else we're gonna go to the Usagi world, and will we have more of the work coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine like Stan isn't just going to give his property over to anybody, so I'm sure that he knows these guys very well, and they had many conversations, and so for him to trust someone with his character, I feel
they
like
also have extra material at the back with about Japan.
Yeah,
locations where you're using, they kind of doing the same what Stan was doing in Usagi books.
Right.
Also, there's an interview with the book covers artists, so they ask them like general 4 questions. So you have that at the back of the comic book. I really like it. I want more. I could follow Usagi in 1984 easily, because the way those, the feel of the time, also it's still kind of it still feels him of what he is, but in kind of like more naive situation. There's one thing which is what he saw. There's this flashback where he's kind of like previous past life kind of was in his brain. I don't know if they have completely negate this as a storyline, or will they continue forward with the last issue. I hope they would, because there's this lady, there's a spoiler, but there's this lady gonna come out right at the end, and she's one of the characters of Usagi Yojimbo. From the cover. That's the next cover.
Oh yeah,
by the greats. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of things happening.
Cool. Yeah, so wow.
It's just a sad, as I say, it's just next issue's last. So gap is gonna be like, this is what's really helpful to have, especially if you're a fan of Usagi. It's just a pity that it's gonna get finished.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're gonna do the same thing that Stan's doing, just have this arc that continues, but they're just individual short stories that'll just kind of continue, right?
I guess they're seeing to see. I don't know how this book sales is. Right. I have not seen many people talk about it on YouTube either, but the people I followed. So maybe that's the problem. But yeah, I think it's such a, if people missing out on this because they just saw that a different creative team is, they definitely gonna realize they missed out on something. I really like
it. The other reason I'm glad that I went, and your husband's going to be excited, is after 2 years.
What?
Final issue of Space Riders. No, either did I. I had no fucking clue that this was coming out. So this is the final, and the way that this comic goes, I think this is it. Like, there's going to be no more Space Riders after this one. I won't do any spoilers or anything, But this is
Oh,
the series that was written. This is Vortex
what
of
happened?
Darkness
Yeah,
by
I'll
Carlos
consider it.
Ciccone, who's like a
Yeah,
noise musician, synthesizer kind of weirdo.
yeah.
And then of course Alexis Zarit.
Hmm.
And it's I can't remember what the fuck happened in the other issues, and
I
it
don't
kind of
either.
doesn't matter because this final issue was just a big fight. Not that there
Oh,
was ever much complexity to this whole thing, but it's so good to see it again. I've when I
wow.
sat down and read it, I realized how much I missed it because I love his art a
Yeah,
lot.
that's
I
what
love
my
the
husband.
colors. It's
Yeah.
just a bonkers looking book. I won't go further than that, but yeah. So after 2 long years, it's
What the heck?
finally done. So tell your husband.
Well, I hope I'm gonna be able to find it for him. That's the thing.
Mhm.
I did not. Maybe I didn't really realize. Oh my god.
No, I had no idea that it was coming until I saw it on the shelf. I didn't hear anything about it at all. I just assumed we were never going to see it again, and whatever happened happened. I have no idea what the backstory is, why there was a delay, no clue. So
Yeah. Oh wow. I've been
mhm.
looking to see if there is any, but I'm not seeing it much. Okay, so I have two more books and that's it in my realm.
Okay.
How about you? You
Yeah,
have
I'm
more?
about 2 or 3 more. Oh no, I've got 4 more here, but one I don't have much to say about it because it's not that good. So
Do you wanted to go? Because I know you have time squeeze, right? Are we good with
oh yeah,
time?
sure. I'll show you these two first. These are, I have nothing really to say about this.
Oh,
Godzilla versus Portland. It's the continuation of like Godzilla versus America, the one shots.
yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. Every time I pick up an issue, I just don't like it, but I keep
Oh
picking them
no.
up because I'm a sucker. But this one I didn't really. I don't know, man. It's getting too much of a. It's becoming the point of the stories is to focus on the city that they're in, right? And that's I get it, but that when that becomes the main drive for every single story, and you got to talk about like the hot dogs in Portland and all these other things, it becomes too much, and it's just not engaging. I don't know. I'll probably end up picking the rest up as well too when they do some more, but yeah, I'm not really digging that one. The other surprise was Faceless and the Family is back, which I didn't know this was coming back either. So
Oh,
this is Matt Lesniewski. I've seen him doing some
oh,
videos where he's doing drawing and stuff,
oh yeah.
but I didn't know that there was a new volume of this coming out, and it's stunner to say the least because it's Lesniewski.
Oof.
He's such a gorgeous artist.
Yeah.
Some sort of our kind of main character, Faceless, is overtaken by this kind of very cubist set of armor that seems to be alive, and
Yeah.
he can't shed it, and it's
Uh-huh.
causing him not necessarily pain. The more he fights it, the more it sort of kind of grabs onto him, and it's you don't have a lot of you don't he doesn't have a lot of control over it. At least make it Godzilla stomps on cities with funny names like Poughkeepsie or Walla Walla. Yeah, totally. But it's a stunner, man. And I've always been a huge fan of all of his art, but I love his lettering. I love what he does with his sound effects and stuff.
Nice.
It's wild to look through this. It's a wild little story. Um, it's beautiful. His art is fucking beautiful. I can't imagine how long it takes him to do a page, but and it's a beautiful, like it's got some heavy duty kind of
Oh,
card stock for the cover as well too. So this isn't a flimsy affair from Oni Press. This is a solid book. What the hell was the price on it? It's a 5.99er, but honestly, I think it's absolutely worth it. So yeah, that was a nice surprise.
mm-hmm. Cool, cool.
Yeah,
So many new stuff, eh? Well, we can't keep up. It's just too many. That's what I'm trying
it's
to
too
say.
many.
It's you cannot. I mean, who can? I mean, I keep on looking those young folk doing YouTube videos and they whole video of weekly whole video, and it's like you say a stack of like probably like you say 70 or maybe more amount of smackaroos is worth, and you're
Yeah,
like, whoosh! I would remember those days. But it's
yeah,
not that
totally.
bad. He's never been so bad. Even then,
Well, I
there's
mean
like,
the thing with this week was too like there's a few
Mm,
series that are ending, so it's nice to have a
yeah,
couple of things that are new. So it doesn't really end up adding to my list. It just kind of replaces some stuff that's ending.
yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. So Shaolin Cowboy is now on, so it's never
yeah,
went into a new book. There's something else I wanted to mention to you. Oh, that's completely off it, but I just remembered. But you know that the Tartakovsky, whatever the animator of Primal,
yeah, he's doing
did you?
Conan.
Yes, did you hear that?
Yeah,
Oh, you heard it. Okay, cool.
I just
I
saw a
was
little post. I didn't look at anything. I just saw like it had a still picture and just a little write up on it. That's crazy.
somebody saying that, well, Primal is basically Conan's story, so what the heck, you know?
Yeah,
So, but they, I guess they saw Primal and they want him to work literally on Conan
it's
things.
awesome.
So, yeah, it's that Adult Swim company, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
With the Prime, with the Amazon, I guess that's what it
yeah.
is. So they are basically establishing. But I'm glad. I mean, I'm in a way. Well, I mean, I know the animated will be fucking fantastic if he's gonna work on it. Though it all depends on situation, right? It depends who and what and why. But if he agrees to work with them, so then maybe it's gonna be something really amazing to look at.
Oh, I think so. I mean, if anybody knows how to orchestrate a fight scene, it's
Oh,
that guy.
yeah,
He's got a knack for that stuff. So yeah,
yeah,
it's super cool. That'll be cool.
yeah. Cool, cool. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm sweating my. Oh, too much. I don't have air. There's no air in circulation. Ugh. Anyway, oh, I'm gonna bend this book. So I pick up Wonder Woman. I absolutely love Wonder Woman,
Uh-huh.
which is absolute Wonder Woman. Issue 21. There's a new artist for two story. It's the guy called Dylan Snook.
Hmm.
Never heard of Dylan Snook. Or Snook is familiar, but not Dylan Snook. Anyway, so we have the story where Wonder Woman, after this big scene happening, she got back into Underworld, Wild Isles. Apparently there's a deal with her. She cannot be up in the human world for a very long time, so she basically was taken away from people who were captured, especially Barbara, she's mentioned in here. It's you kind of like Wonder Woman's situation is kind of like she's in between two things, right? She wants to be in human world to help humans. She's very kind of like establishing that name for herself. We also find out that people cannot say no to her. They're gonna be charmed by her no matter what, because there's this curse given by a god. That the same god has made some other dealings with Ares, and Ares is the main established bad guy for Wonder Woman. It always has been, even in Absolute Universe, it has.
Hmm.
So when she goes back into Wild Isles, she discovers her mum has been taken away. I don't know what. I don't know if I missed something. I kind of got confused by that. But Snook is not doing bad job at all. I actually enjoyed his art. At the beginning, I was like, he's not the guy, but his work is also all reminds me of that Image style, which you don't see that in DC books. Can you see?
Yep.
So it's really kind of actually does kind of give you. You see, the thing is, you always in big two, you have break for the artist who's in the main title, so you have some helping people coming in, but they use really good choices. I'm really surprised by it, like not so jarring different kind of like type of artist. So that's
Hmm.
really helps and lends by itself. So that's so before she gets to be put back into the Wild Isles, we realize that Barbara, she got taken to Area 41, and Wonder Woman was captured by it, but she was saved by being taken back to basically hell, and her friends are captured by that douchebag blonde chick. I forgot her name. And anyway, it seems to be she's starting to hear these voices, and there's this body of Cheetah on it, and she's like, she doesn't understand why this corpse is not like putting smell out. She doesn't realize what's going on, and then what she's realizing that actually that thing, or at least what she thinks it is talking to her. So is she going crazy? We don't know. Is that what they're gonna do, experiment on her, and she becomes a new Cheetah, which is a villain of Wonder Woman as well. But I'm not sure how this is going to establish in this absolute universe, because of course there's twists and turns and differences to it. I really like this. I really like the twists and turns and the characters who she's really kind of cares about, and the way Kelly Thompson has been writing this book. I'm surprised how much I care about Wonder Woman. She's much more like, less like God, more like magician type of a thing, but she marries two together really well, and she really like looks like she's tormented by everything. All her choices are not great, the way she was brought up, because she wasn't brought up in Themyscira, because she was brought up in hell. It seems to be that twist of this element really does help. And then she's going on the hunt. So the only thing she says to, I can't go up in the human world, so the only thing I can do is go look for my mom. And she's trying to look on it, and that's her journey through these people, crazy gods-like creatures. She's like tiger, humans, like Scorpio type of the dude. She's finding to understand where her mom is and who is Hava. And then she, of course, in this book, you kind of see the person she's talking to, and she's realizing at the back. It's a bit of a spoiler, but yeah, there you go. Really cool, man. Wonder Woman. If you could pick up on the library and would read it, I would be very curious to see what you think. Because this is really,
it looks pretty good, and when you've talked about it, it sounds pretty interesting too. So
I really like that part of the way they establishing her to become that like magic element is much more prominent in her ways of dealing with situations, the way gods are established. I mean, I'm not a long-term Wonder Woman reader, I've never have been, but so far this one, it's succinctly works with me every time, and I think it's even written better, of course, hearsay for some people, but I think it's even written better than Absolute Batman by Snyder, because Batman is, Batman is the one who gets all the limelight. Yes, Wonder Woman also gets limelight from DC, but not as much, right? She's a female part of it, the triple threat of DC. Yeah? But I still feel like Reese is really well done, and it's just given much more element to her rather than being brawn and fighting. Like she's godlike creature. She can do whatever she wants. She has those lassos. She has several lassos this time. She has magic elements to her. She has this vulnerability to her. It's like childlike situation sometimes. You feel like her emotional state is not like full established kind of thing, even though she's a grown woman. But like that naivety part of her is still kind of present, or the way it's written in here, it feels like that as well, which is really does give the character much more rounding, like it gives you more kind of human element to her, which is much easier to read rather than reading some godlike creature doing whatever the heck she wants like it.
Yeah,
because there's established both sides of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
I just really like it.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, and that art, like you said, it's always a bit of a chance when you have an artist or another artist stepping in, but it looked pretty solid from what you were showing.
Yeah, the Snookers looks really nice. They had another artist beforehand. There's several times. I think this guy, the artist of this, what is his name? Sherman guy. Let me see. Hayden Sherman. So he's so popular now because of this Wonder Woman run. Apparently he's doing some other shit. So I'm not sure how is this going to go further down the line. Maybe he's that kind of artist who can do a lot.
Right.
But it does help that, they have those snippets of storytelling. Like there's 2 issues this art is going to be part of. But as I say, so far they picked the right kind of like artist to replace him by. So I really like it. But I still, of course, I prefer Hayden Sherman, the main artist, because that's how you get used to it from the get-go, right? It's anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Another one that has now ended.
Oh yes, I was waiting for you to.
Martian Manhunter.
And
came out, and it was fucking awesome, dude. Man, I tell you, like, this book has had it mostly been amazing. There's been 1 or 2 ups and downs. What the fuck is this? Oh wow, I never noticed this. So there's the front page. open up, the first 2 pages are ads. When the hell have you seen that before?
Oh
Until you
shoot.
finally get, I never noticed that the first time I was reading it.
Oh good.
Man, I think they did a wonderful job here, and I think that this is such a nice way to wrap up this book.
Yeah.
It gets into, again, no spoilers kind of thing, but like it gets into, we have our two main characters, the cop and his wife, sort of experiencing what's been going on through each other's eyes and sort of like living some of these things. So you get a lot of internal dialogue and you get a lot of questions answered. I don't know, man. It was a hell of a read, because there was a couple of times it makes you kind of, it's one of those that makes me kind of rethink what I had read and how they were telling the story, in a bit of a different way, which is kind of nice to have that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's tough to talk about without saying spoilers. So, it'll be one that maybe this might be a series where I will actually reread it just to kind of get that experience again and sort of follow the story throughout it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of themes of like, depression and things like that that I've been
Yeah.
talking about before. But as you can see, the art is still a stunner. None of that changes. He does some good things. Again, stuff like this, like mirroring that other page. It's
Oh
her
yeah,
on
yeah,
one
yeah,
page,
yeah.
him on the next. And then as it gets into like, we start entering this other realm or whatever, the color palette changes in. Just so beautifully done. The paneling, the layouts, the design stuff, like what they do with the Martian Manhunter character himself and sort of make him look like a piece of modern art at times. And the way they use colors throughout the book is so fucking cool. These guys are an amazing team. Let's get the proper credits. So, Dennis or Denise Camp, and then Martinez. Where's the credit page here? Here we go.
Javier.
Just to make sure.
Yeah, Javier Rodriguez. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just to make sure. But they're a hell of a duo, and I hope that they do a lot more. So I don't know, man. Strong book. That really fun to kind of read through. Not overly complex. There was time, like I said, there was times where it really felt like I kind of wish you guys would have only had 6 issues. But reading this ending kind of wraps everything up nicely, I thought. So I'm glad that they had 12 to sort of explore it. I'm super curious to hear interviews with them of like when they found out they were picked up for another 6 issues. Did they change the original story that they wanted to present? When was that they found that out? Had they finished most of the 6 books? I'd be really curious about how this story sort of evolved throughout. Yeah, so solid, man. Solid read.
Okay, cool. I mean, I read the first volume. I really liked that.
Yeah.
I got that from library as well, so it was very good to read. I really liked the art. Rodriguez is just like, wow, the man's imagination. I mean,
It's
where does he get
unbelievable.
it? Is it tripping? Do
Yeah.
you think? Do you think trips, right?
I have no idea. I think
bit of
he just sees
magic mushroom.
things differently. I wonder what his background is with like art, so
A
because I
bit of
don't know much
magic
about it.
mushrooms going on there.
Yeah,
70s.
maybe.
Maybe traveled back into 70s and then we had
Yeah.
a bit of a high and they came back. It's like, whoa, I know exactly what I'm going to do now.
Yeah. I know how I'm gonna draw.
Flower like kids, like the way they were.
Yeah, yeah.
Those colors relents to it. The psychedelic element to it is quite high in that
Absolutely.
book. And the color schemes he's chosen to is also does lend to that as well. But it's just the paneling, like surprise. What do you read? What do you do in order to get that kind of as part of your ideas?
And the flow of it too, like just the flow of each of the books is so kind of its own thing. It's very sort of fluid as you move through, right? And you really feel like you're in a different kind of space as you're reading it too. So yeah, man, well done.
Or the guy's been doing the comic books and suddenly somebody just like, there's that light bulb is so big that it opened up his like elements of a grandeur, like Matrix mode unlocked or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's like I can
Yeah.
see everything.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I can read the text.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm being silly, but yeah, it's a beautiful of that. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what you have to say when you read the second volume.
Yeah, I have to now because it's finished, so it's kind of curious
Yeah.
to see where they ended up. And my last one is the Rick Remendez and Daniel Cunha's Escape, the war type of storyline which keeps me engaged. I realized how much torment and death just by actually reading this issue. Particularly, took me like 8 issues to realize war, torments, and I mean I've seen it in the panels, but what he does, and I think Daniel Cunha does it all for Rick Remendez so well. It's the mood setting in his book is done spectacularly. Everything from panel to panel, the stakes are higher and higher. It's almost kind of like feels like you are experiencing kind of the story back. You're witnessing all the stuff, the brutality of the people who's in charge, the main guy who we're following, who's supposed to be death, and what happens to him in here. You feel like, okay, he's walking on like minutes. Like, how many 9 lives does he have, like a cat or something like that? Because the situation he's in, nobody would want to be part of, first of all. That stakes he has to play with, especially his life and his family's life, is always evident in each panel. The people they're fighting with, those bat-like, okay, Nazis, let's say this way, right? They are as nasty as you would presume you heard from, if you had loved ones who experienced the world wars or something like that. It's kind of sad, but it also doesn't, you want to read more. Like, you're kind of willing to him to escape. You're willing the story to get better. You are, at least me, I always look at it, okay, there's going to be something good for him, right? Has to be. Why are you going with this comic book? The only thing you most of the time see is death, threats, destruction. And the way Daniel Cunha works with the panels is, honestly, you go to comic book shop, I would ask everybody just go and flip through it to realize what I'm showing, because it's different what you see from the camera, I presume, and how does it feel for me flipping the pages. But the work has been done. I really love it. I like the panels, scenes. I like the characters used. I like the confrontations, the stakes, the motions, and all that stuff in the story. And how it goes is that he gets to destroy this gun, which basically was aerial defense for the people, the person we are basically following, a pilot who is basically bombarding from the sky. And because he's landed, because he's only survivor, his task was always to destroy that gun so everybody else can go through it and start basically in the main attack. And he establishes that. But the people who believes that whoever the army is doing in this situation and they are, you always find somebody who is against it, right? So revolutionaries or whatever, I don't know, I can't establish the right word in my head at the moment. But it's really intriguing to see what one decision can make or break in that moment, but it has to be made in split seconds, right? So there's lots of things at stake, and there's lots of things whoever helped him to go through this and still be alive. There's people just dying, and people who's looking for him, it seems to be getting closer and closer. He's finally getting to establish a conversation with his people in charge. They are very surprised to even hear from him. We cannot understand how is this happening. How can you survive this situation? They kind of doubted at the beginning. He can't see with one eye because an eye is shattered, and he has this like code to say who he is, like special code names and stuff like that. He needs to use it. They managed to basically establish conversation. thing, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, like always, but there's something else will happen. So there's this scene where the places where they were hiding and basically bickering each other because we're helping the enemy. The main army is coming at him and basically bombarding the places, and he's getting to be covered in more blood, and he's continuously walking, surviving. No wonder his escape is called in this comic book. But yeah, it's mesmerizing. It's sad, but it's the way it's done. I don't know why I can't say I want to leave it. Like it's just the way you're seeing the people work really well in the comic book, and you just admire that. The storyline, is like, it's war. There's nothing else to you to say, right? There's nothing great about it. It's just two sides are fighting, and they're fighting till the end. But the way the Rick Remender and Dave Acuna working on it really kind of like lets me want to wonder, where else can you take this? Because there's no escape really, even though it's called an escape. But it doesn't look like there was going to be a light at the end of a tunnel for our main character. But how and what he's going to do next is what intrigues me the most, because every situation is always on a knife edge, and then something else happens to him. In a good way and a bad way, in situation, like, you make situation happen and some things you succeed in it. So yeah, I really like it.
It's interesting because I remember when it was first coming out, that was the war thing was one of the things that you're like, I just don't know if I want to read it, and I don't really know if that's a topic that works. But here you are all this time later, still into it, eh?
But I care about the character, I guess.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I think what Rick Remender does really well, especially if you're reading and you care about the character he's writing about, it really helps you to move forward with the book with him and going forward, right? So you want to invest the time and just to understand what's going to happen next. So yeah, that's the job with me, this one. And I must say, I think more than anything else, the art Daniel Acuna is doing is like, it's out of that something. Like, you don't see that every day in the comic pages. There's never a letdown. There's just much more after. Every page you turn, there's nothing to say about it. You don't have to complain, because you just, oh, this is amazing. Oh, you're losing this colors. Oh, this sound, that moment in the panel is great. You turn another page and you're like, oh, this is like good continuation of there's nothing to complain about, so you don't find those gaps in what's written, right? So that's really what you want from the comic book at the end of the day. You want it to be excited about what you're going to see next to the pages, even though, like I keep on saying, it's a war story. It's not an easiest thing to read. And another thing he's going to do, which is now he's doing another creator, which I really like with him, Steve Epting, doing Rick Remender Hammerfist.
Cool.
In August, apparently.
I like Epting as well too. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be in August, hopefully.
Cool.
Another book, a new book to maybe. I definitely going to pick up the things. But I watch videos, people talk about Escape, and nobody can nothing bad to say about it. Like, people are saying it's just like, not the only, like, I think what Marvel would have as superstar team creators is Rick Remender and David Acuna doing Captain America. This would be selling like cupcakes of Captain America.
Yeah.
Because you want that kind of, like in Big Two, that kind of great. You used to have that, right? We used to have that kind of thing. Marvel, or DC. Well, DC now doing it, but Marvel previously used to have those creators, like star creators, where you're like, oh my god, this is Captain America book. What? How can I have that? So I think Rick Remender did Captain America, or am I mistaken? I think he did.
Yeah, Remender did some Captain America, and I think people hated it. It was with John Romita Jr., I think, and I remember kind of enjoying it, to be honest.
Well, John Romita Jr. is not everybody's favorite.
No, he really isn't. And then I think what he was doing with the character, and You know, it's
Yeah.
like the same thing when he did Frank Castle and then turned it into Franken Castle or whatever it was, where
Mm,
people hated that shit as well too. And I thought that was kind of fun as well. But I
I
don't have the
like.
same ties to those characters that other people do. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But maybe that what it is. But anyway, it's funny that one of the late like sacrifices was good reading for me. I think I really enjoyed Rick Remender's book. But I think
Mhm.
writing wise, this is like really well established. There's no jumping around.
Mm,
He feels it more at stake because he's telling the story of his family's experiences as well. So what he granddad's whatever he feels like the story granddad had. So I think he kind of like feels like he needs to do it well. He kind of just chopped and chased kind of thing the storyline, so he feels dearly about it, and you can read it like he's not rushed like some like the seasons that felt like yeah, it's like
yeah.
not done much. Like it's just a fun kind of crazy story. I'm gonna write down. It just felt like that it was
Yeah.
rushed and nobody cared about it. This one doesn't feel that way. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
it's what, and it seems to be the way he's writing. Or I've read him talking about it that he's very excited because Daniel Cunha is doing something, not everybody can witness. So he's very happy with that. But both of
Mm-hmm.
them working on the book like that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was great.
The last one that I'm going to talk about before we gotta
Yeah.
call it is the new Swamp Thing. So
Oh
another one
yeah.
that's ending right away. Number 91, I think, is going to be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Rick Veitch, Tom Mandrake, and in this one,
Trish.
Trish Mulvihill, and then Todd Klein doing letters, I think. Todd
Mm-hmm.
Klein, yeah. So this is the infamous run that Veitch was doing that got canceled after the Alan Moore. He did a run of Swamp Thing, and
Mm-hmm.
it got in some hot water. The cover was going to be Swamp Thing as the cross of Jesus
Yeah.
Christ getting nailed to. So this one, he's gone back in time to before the Big Bang. Fuck me, was this ever a good issue? This was such a great issue. I love that they put so much time into the write-ups at the back are fantastic. So
Mm-hmm.
the write-up in this one is with Todd Klein, the letterer, and he's talking about trying to go for the original letterer was I don't know if Paulo has it on the tip of his tongue, but blah blah blah. John Costanza was the original letterer, so he was going through a lot of old books where Costanza was lettering to kind of create a Costanza font, and that was doing bold, capital, small letters, word balloons, even special effects like sound effects, trying to recreate so he would be true. The whole concept with this book is even the colorist talks about it in this one too, like just trying to recreate this book with the palette they would have had at the time, not using any of the modern tricks. It's even printed on sort of pseudo newsprint. But
Oh yeah.
beyond all that, this is a killer issue. So Swamp Thing basically comes face to face with the source, as it's called here, like the creator before the
Oh.
Big Bang, and kind of gives him a choice, like, what would you like to do? Would you like to be reincarnated? Which is what ends up happening, and he gets
Really?
reincarnated as a fucking tree on the side of a cliff
This.
with his family of trees. And
Oh
then they
yes.
incorporate a DC character, Anthro, who I know about. I haven't read anything. Is kind of plays a part in it. So he starts to, he's there for like 100 years, and all of a sudden he grows an eye. So now he can see what's going on, and he's got this urge to walk, and he doesn't really remember much about his life, but he does
Uh-huh.
remember Abby's name. And there he is there, like as his kind of family, as he calls them, are dying around him. This one due to like some insects.
Oh shit.
But it is such a great, I don't know, man. It's my favorite run of all times, I think. And it was because of stuff like this, the way that they approach this character
Uh-huh.
and the things that they do with him and how they incorporate him, not only in like the DC world, but just in kind of like a comic book world itself, I think is so fucking interesting and so engaging. So I don't know, man. I can't recommend this enough, like picking these ones up. So it's been 3 issues so far,
Yeah.
and I love the back page write-ups. Like I said, this one with Todd Klein doing some work there, and then Trish Mulvihill talking about her coloring process as well too. And then they put a bunch of ads in it for comics that would have been there at the time in like 1989, including Wild Dog, and then of course Bill and Ted on the back cover, The Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
So it's a really great package. Love it. Every single thing from the inside front cover to the inside back cover.
Yep.
So goddamn good. So glad this is seeing the light of day. There's going to be a collection later as well once it's done. And I think that they're going to put even more write-ups from people in there to expand on kind of their thoughts on it and the process. So yeah, killer issue, man.
I'm so hot I can't sit anymore. Okay, cool. That sounds like really fun. That's one thing.
Yeah.
All right. So we're done then. We have spoken.
We're done. Yeah.
All right. How are we gonna show up next time? Let's see. Maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Let's blame Summer. Blame Summer for that.
Yeah, we'll blame Summer if we're not here. We'll blame Summer. Absolutely. Good call.
Well, thank you very much, Paolo Costa and Comic Progressive, for showing up.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll entertain you next time as well.
Right on.
Okay. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Later.